Godfrey made another career-ending mistake today, and I like Godfrey, but there's no excuse for this. Like, this is unforgivable. Like, this is just really, really, really terrible. So this is an extension of the previous backlash that he was getting for bringing on the actor David Oyelowo. This dude, David Oyelowo, oh, he was wildin'. This dude reinforced every negative stereotype of an uppity African. You know how they consider like all Africans uppity Africans, but not all are uppity? This dude is an uppity African. This dude came on his podcast and said things like Black Americans were jealous of him. That's why they are upset he played MLK. They just jealous he's good at what he does. This dude was arrogant. He was pompous. This dude was condescending as hell. This dude definitely reinforced a stereotype of how uppity Africans think they're better than Black Americans. He for sure think he better. If you are a conscious brother, regardless of what your nationality is, you would watch that podcast and have an issue with it. You will be disturbed watching that podcast. I can't put into words how disturbing that podcast is. This dude at some point said the American accent is a slowed down version of the Nigerian accent with a hint of slavery and a hint of subservient. All right, man. Why? Why? Now, in the moment when he said it, nobody in the room checked him, including Godfrey.
If you take the Nigerian accent like this and you slow it down, you put a lot of slavery in there.
Facts.
And then you start to put a little bit of subservience in it. This is what starts to happen to the Nigerian accent.
Man.
It goes, because literally, if you're down here and you start to speed it up, and then you start to take all the thing out of it, then before you know it, you're talking like this.
Now we are free again.
Now we are free. We are released.
Hey, that was a smooth transition. You see that? Damn.
You have to study it. You have to study it.
Godfrey has a track record of sticking up for Black Americans and Black culture in general. But in this moment, not only did he not step in, Godfrey even chimed in and said, facts. And when he sped up the Nigerian accent, he says, freedom, finally. So he's co-signing that the American accent is just a slowed down Nigerian accent with a hint of slavery and a hint of subservient, right? As if Africans are more militant than Black Americans, right? Again, this just falls and reaffirms all the negative stereotypes of Africans would pretend to be pro-Black in the public, but then behind closed doors, or when another African come in the room, they chuckle, right? And they disparage and they go against Black Americans. And again, this just reaffirms all the suspicions Black Americans already have of Africans because, again, Godfrey is one of the most pro-Black, super militant, Nation of Islam, Farrakhan, like he is pro-Black as pro-Black can be when no Africans are in the room. But when an African come in the room, all of a sudden, he's making jokes like the Black American accent is just a slowed down African accent with a hint of slavery. Now, Van Lathan and other people were really upset about this, and they spoke out against it. I think even Karen Hunter, Godfrey old boss, she spoke out against Godfrey. So a lot of people was upset about this clip as well as other clips.
Know what he was thinking.
We can't do it like that, man.
Do you think that he would have said that here? Because he's talking to two Africans.
Oh, come on, don't say it like that. Like,
don't make it something that it's not. I'm asking a legitimate question here.
He's talking to two Africans, the way you said it.
I just wonder, because I paused because I was going to say Nigerian and I wasn't sure if both are, so that's why I said that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody was Nigerian.
Okay, so it was, I'm in a different space. And this is not to make it excusing it, but it did make me wonder. I wonder if you would have said that to us if that conversation had come up, because we have talked to him about Black British actors taking roles of Black American actors, and we've done all that conversation, and he does talk about that as well. But I think that conversation again that he has on the podcast 154 Africa podcast. That conversation he has with them combined with this accent and saying he puts a little subservience to it is why we have the wars.
The diaspora wars.
Yeah, it's why we have the diaspora wars, because
Why Rachel Lindsay's point in regards to behavior like this being the reason or part of the reason why this, like the sport wars is going on, why that's so profound is because we've seen Godfrey on multiple occasions be quick and in a hurry to call out Tariq Nasheed and call out people who classify as FBA, quick and in a hurry. But on that very same podcast, Tariq Nasheed, David Oyelowo, they came together to condemn and disavow what they will say is hatred from the people who classify as FBA. However, they fail to see how rhetoric like the ones that they're spewing throughout that podcast, where they disrespect, disparage, and condescend and say a lot of foul things about Black Americans, they fail to see how their actions are disrespectful and contribute to the diaspora wars, but they'll be quicker in a hurry to call out FBA, which a lot of times is a reaction to behavior like this that Godfrey and the actor put on display during this podcast.
And how do we, what is this diaspora embracing notion that you guys are talking about, as opposed to me now beginning to internalize some kind of ridiculous, what do they call ADOS or whatever?
That's
like
my traditional Black.
But it proliferates.
Yeah, it does.
It proliferates. You look at what is happening with nationalism, you know, the rise of the Reform Party in the UK. You look at why we have some of the political circumstances we have here in America. It starts like this. It starts with people feeling empowered and gathering around negativity that gives them some kind of identity.
I don't like that, bro. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't all of a sudden be quick to recognize hate when it's on the receiving end, when you're the one receiving the hate, but you somehow don't recognize the hate when you're the one giving it. Right? When you're the one on a 3-hour podcast disparaging a group of people, right? Using damn near slurs to reference those people, right? Because what you're saying is what? Like the way they talk is slave talk? Like, huh? Right? So clearly, when you're the one giving it hate, you got no problem with it. But when you're receiving it, right, when they bucking back at you, when people on your timeline giving you hell, now all of a sudden you quick to recognize the hate, now all of a sudden it's their fault. No, you can't have your cake and eat it too. You're either against hate or you're for hate. I'm against hate, right? An African, an immigrant, a Caribbean, or whoever who used the word Akata, you are a bigot. Tariq Nasheed and people who classify as FBA, when they use the word tethered to reference like immigrants, they are bigots, right? Hate is not bias. If you're a hateful over here, you're a bigot. If you're a hateful over here, you are a bigot. It's up to us to call out both sides, bruh. Because the nonsense that goes on it appears to be a tick for attack at this point, right? It appears to be. Now, Godfrey sat there, chimed in, facts, freedom. But when Godfrey was confronted with this on his show, Godfrey took a defensive stance, and like Godfrey made it everybody else's fault but his. And this is not the way you handle something like this, especially when you're in the wrong. Now, the actor eventually issued an apology, and he apologized for his words, but Godfrey is still being defensive when people call him out for essentially co-signing what that man said and did during that podcast.
Her saying that, look at her now. Now she wants to jump on David Oyelowo because she don't have nothing else to talk about. So she gonna jump on my podcast, which is a dope-ass podcast.
Hold on, bro. That's not fair. Karen Hunter, now understand they have their issues. She's a Black American woman. She has an issue with his comments about her people, and she made a video talking about it. How is she not in her right to do that? How is that clout chasing? How is that anything other than her speaking up for her people? If somebody made a comment about an African on somebody's podcast and that clip go viral, you will be discussing it on your podcast. They can't say, oh, he's just talking about this because he got no, you would, nah. You're talking about it because you're speaking up for your people. It's relevant to you and your audience. But when she do it now, all of a sudden, oh man, she ain't got nothing else to talk about. But Godfrey will continue taking no accountability, going off on any critic, And just overall, man, this was just a terrible response because we know Godfrey to be the happy-go-lucky guy, but this right here was not his best work.
And by the way, David Oyelowo has apologized, but British black people do not have a perspective of American blacks.
Even get it.
But the fact is that these mistakes need to happen so we can talk about it, so we can have people going, I f***ed up. I think David probably didn't mean it that way, but the British black experience is so different than the black American experience. He probably was like, no, it's a little subservient. They don't know any better. A lot of them just don't know any better.
No,
and I think it's good that people can listen. Hold up.
It definitely sounded like some white people. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
It was whack. But I said I'm sorry, but it definitely sounded like some white people. But I get it.
But what I'm saying is, that's what. Where do you think they're colonized? It's colonial mentality. That's white people. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think people were responding because we appreciate the fact that although your heritage is Nigerian. Listen, I've been through all the arguments with ex-boyfriend, Nigerian, the whole nine. So I understand.
Yeah, but I grew up. First of all, I grew up in Chicago.
We were a little surprised by your reaction.
I don't give a f what y'all were thinking because I didn't make him say that.
I didn't say it.
I didn't make him say that. So f all of that because you all sit there and try to pick at the smallest.
You didn't make him say that, but when he said it, you said facts. And then you said freedom at the end of what he said. And then you engaged with it and told your co-host, hey, man, right? So you knew exactly what he said. Like, he's gonna eventually, as he proceeds talking, he's going to say he didn't even hear him say it. But he was actively engaging in a conversation, facts, freedom, co-signing and ad-libbing what he was saying. As a matter of fact, it was a game that Godfrey created. Godfrey created can you do this accent and this accent and this accent? And it was his response to Godfrey where he says the slave comment. So, no, Godfrey heard exactly what that man said. But I don't understand. Even if you didn't co-sign it, let's just say this, even if you didn't co-sign it, you platformed him. If your favorite podcast, Godfrey, platformed somebody who came on and disrespected Africans and was a bigot, and they offer no pushback whatsoever and even co-sign them at times, you wouldn't be on that podcast you wouldn't be on their ass? You wouldn't call them out? You wouldn't call them out for platforming bigotry? So why is it any different now?
Waiting for us to f up. First of all, me and Akbar grew up in Crenshaw. All right? I grew up in Chicago, some of the blackest cities around. Chicago's the most segregated city in this country. So I know what black Americans are like because I was stopped by cops, harassed by cops, called the whole nine. Okay, so I'm a little bit different, but that show, what our show is, it's just 9-10 months. We're doing really well. It's needed. Nothing's gonna be perfect. So when someone goes, I didn't like your reaction, you're not my parent, first off. And I'm the first person, if I I'll go, man, my bad. But David said it. So to villainize me is bullshit. That's black just trying to have something to about. See, what we're doing is we're trying to work out our kinks. People are traumatized. Black Americans are traumatized. Caribbeans are traumatized. Africans are traumatized. Everybody's traumatized. Black women are traumatized. Black men are traumatized. So this is all coming from trauma. And this should be a therapeutic podcast. It should be a podcast where we go, hey, man, we up. We got to talk about these things. But to just go, I'm disappointed. None of you, my parent. None of you. Nobody's perfect talking to me. You do a podcast and do better then.
Y'all don't even understand how vile what Godfrey just said is, how trifling, disgusting, and vile what he just said is. Let me explain to you guys real quick. Godfrey just says Black Americans have trauma. Because of their trauma, that's why they're overreacting to this David clip. Take it with a grain of salt. They're just overreacting. It's trauma speaking. Let's speak about that trauma real quick. The Black American trauma they're currently feeling is because of slavery, systematic racism, Jim Crow, civil rights, 400 years of overcoming and enduring. 400 years. They endure a lot of tragic things. But their enduring, their overcoming, their trauma is a consequence of greedy Africans who sold them. They were sold. They were betrayed by Africans. So the same Black Americans who are currently filled with the trauma, who had to endure the unspeakable, still said during the civil rights movement, even though we know our African brothers sold us, they betrayed us, we still want them to come over here. We're still gonna march, protest, and do whatever we gotta do, put our safety at risk, so you guys can pass laws to bring our African brothers over here, because we want them to enjoy the prosperity and freedoms off our backs and our sweat. But in 2026, the same Africans that they know betrayed them, the same Africans that they know sold them and slimed them out, the same Africans that they pushed to come here even though they knew the history, the same Africans is now on a podcast in 2026 making fun of the very same trauma that they caused. Do you understand how sick that is? That is some nasty stuff right there, bruh. That's nasty, man. That's nasty. Yo, Black Americans are patient, bro. They are patient. Because I'll be real, bro. I don't think my anger issues and my anger problems, I'll be able to control myself, homie. You come on a podcast and make fun of slavery and mock it. Oh, it's the slavery talking. Huh? And you sold us, and we forgave you, and we still marched and still protested to have y'all over here so y'all can endure prosperity? Listen, don't get fooled, right? Because even during that podcast, they was talking about, oh man, listen, man, when you go back to Africa, you take off the armor that you have to wear in America because the system, man, listen, man, there's not enough armor in the world that will sway an African to choosing to live in Africa over America. There's not enough armor in the world that will make Godfrey choose to stay in Africa opposed to America, man. Don't let them fool y'all, bro. It's cracking over here now, man. But yeah, bro, I don't agree with this nonsense at all, man. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? I don't like this not one bit, bro. And Godfrey is usually great with these issues. Like, I don't know what he's dealing with right now, but like, this ain't cool, man. Like, God, just apologize and take accountability. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, man? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, then click on this video right here somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, or here, or here, or here, somewhere on my screen, to find out why exactly what Joe Rogan said today about Black people, to me, is unforgivable. I'm going to see you guys in this Joe Rogan video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.